We are both intuitives, spiritual teachers, and energy healers.
And not tech people.
No. And every Thursday night we go live and we answer questions you have for your spirit guides, streaming to several different platforms. And so we were struggling with the technology a little bit, but we think it's handled.
We think so.
We hope. So anyway, so here's the deal, you guys. As you type questions into the chat, we have this little chat app open that's supposed to draw.
Hey,
oh, it's working. Joylyn.
Yay.
We'll remember you forever because you're the first one coming in over our chat software. Very exciting. Congrats.
Yeah, it is very exciting. We've been trying to do this for so long, and we tried other software and it just wasn't working. So can you guys hear us okay?
Yeah.
Joanne says, finally.
We're 7 minutes late, Joanne.
So have we. So, you know.
True.
All right. So the questions are already coming in.
All right. Let's get on it.
All right. So first thing would be, oh, well, Kathleen writes this first time watching. Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
And Joanne says, finally, we already said that. Okay, Laura Ernaway, any messages for me?
Okay, Laura.
First thing I'm hearing, and I think it's coming from one of your more upper level guides. I'm just hearing so much love to you. I don't know if you're going through a rough time, but it just kind of feels like, and her dog is looking
My
water.
dog is drinking water very loudly, so I don't know if you can hear that.
Anyway, so that was really distracting. Whatever it is that you're going through, or that you're, and it doesn't quite feel like a struggle necessarily, it just feels like kind of difficulty. They want you to know that they love you. And it's reminding me, recently we were both channeling together and some of our guides came in, and one guy came over here and I felt all this love and this tingling and I was in total bliss. And then I went over to Katie, she was like, oh, wow, okay. And then it came back to me and then back to Katie. And it was like this ping pong of this amazing energy back and forth. And it feels like that's what they want you to know, that they love you, they're here with you. And I heard, be not afraid. And that's definitely not me. Be not afraid. What do you think?
Yeah. So basically what I'm hearing is we've got two people, right? We've got ourselves, our 3D selves, and we can kind of get lost in the mix of the tumultuousness of the world. And then we have our spiritual self. And that's the one they want you to access, is that one that knows there is a God, knows that God is benevolent, knows that you're being watched over and loved and cared for, and to rest in that knowing. That's a spiritual practice. It's not just like they're just saying, okay, just do that, ready, go, because sometimes that's challenging. And so it's to know that peace and the comfort of the higher perspective is available to you, but you need to practice it and to access it. And so that's often a process to be able to get into trust and faith and to remain there, so that no matter what it looks like in the outside world, you don't have to be thrown by it. You don't have to lose your emotional center. So I think they just really want you to meditate on that idea. You know, something my guides always say, all is well and all will be well. And sometimes that sounds far-fetched, depending on what's going on around me, but it's always a really good reminder to get into that higher perspective of knowing that we have a choice for how we view what's going on around us, and we can kind of get lost in the fray and get upset emotionally, or we can decide to step back and into that higher perspective and know that ultimately God is in control, and he, she, it loves us deeply, and to return that favor with faith and trust.
Absolutely.
I think that's it.
Okay, Jeannie Boutian. I hope I said that right. Can you help me with my nephew?
Okay. So what I'm feeling like is that it feels like he's lost, and maybe there's a bit of a downward spiral or a struggle there. But I am hearing that this is, it is his journey, and it does feel like you could be there for him in a few different ways. And one of the main ways is energetic. So oftentimes when we have an issue, we'll sort of see like how do we approach this? Sometimes there's a physical aspect of just extending a hand and helping someone, but then there's the spiritual side of it and the energetic side of it. If we're concerned about somebody and we think about them, we're sending energy. And so one of the exercises that we like to do is called love dialysis. And so it's when, when you're thinking of him, it's really easy to devolve into the situation and the emotions behind it. But instead, and which then opens portals and sends energy, and that's not always helpful in that way. So the guides are bringing up love dialysis, and what that exercise is when you think of that person, attempt to send love, but then ask a higher being to sort of filter that energy for you so that it's coming to him in a more pure form, and it's just whatever he needs, as opposed to what, we often think we know what somebody needs, but it's sort of taking your own desires out of the equation and letting, and so a higher being could be an angel, it could be Jesus. So choose who you resonate with to ask for assistance with this. And then when they send the energy, so you'll send the energy essentially to this higher being, intending for it to go to the nephew with whatever it is he needs. And then the energy will come back to you, and the guide can filter it for you for whatever it is that you need, so that you run the energy in a circle between the two of you. So it's like this dialysis, but it's filtered by a more energetically pure being who has nothing but the best intentions, and often more than we can see and know what is needed on either side of the equation.
Yeah, the only thing I'm getting is just really hold him in high regard. Even when we are all that is, and to just hold him in that light, because the more you focus on that, the more he can be that. When you focus on anything less than that, whether it's illness or behavior or something he's struggling with, when you focus on that, that expands that for that person and actually takes away some of their power. So just keep seeing them in their power and in the light, and making the right choices for them, and being able to make it through to the other side of whatever this is.
Yes, well said.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. Joylyn, love to hear any messages Spirit might have for me. Anything from my pup ramen. Oh,
Okay.
we'll check. And if you like what you're seeing, please share.
Yeah, and give us some love. I don't know if we'll see it via
Yeah,
our
I don't
app.
know if we can see it on our app, but yeah, just love us, get mad at us, give us some likes, some cries. I don't know, just
whatever
laughter.
strikes your fancy. I don't know. Okay, Joylyn, we'll tune in for you.
I just keep hearing mission, 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 mission.
So I'm just hearing that, like, brace yourself with work. That's going to be crazy. It does feel tied with your mission, and it does feel like center yourself and keep your cool. Don't worry. Don't freak out. All is well. It might not look like it as things get a little bit nuts, but may cooler heads prevail. And I was getting this sort of excitement, like this excited feeling, and then I was hearing the Mission Impossible theme song, and it was like you, like with a gun, like dun 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 dun. So, doo-doo. Very exciting.
I kind of want your job now.
That doesn't mean that's not literally that you're going to be running around and like having a shootout or anything like that. But it was seemed like exciting and fun, like a movie. So yay, that's good. Yeah, I just whatever's coming, keep your cool, keep your cool, keep your cool, and know that it's going to be all right.
And I'm trying to connect to Ramen, and what I'm feeling is almost like I'm seeing an image of leaning against your leg. So I don't know if Ramen used to do that, or if you've been feeling that lately, but there's something connecting to leaning against your leg. Like,
I love it when dogs do that. It's very sweet.
I'm not really getting anything else though. I do still feel like Ramen comes and visits you.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
it does feel close to you, and like that leaning, I think, is just the sign of love and presence. And I think that's it.
Yeah. All right. Vicki Swertney. Hi, Jenn and Katie.
Hi.
Do you have any messages for me tonight?
Probably. Okay.
I had an image real quickly of it was, and I think you were ice skating. At first, it looked like dancing, but I know you're an ice skater, and so I think that's what they were showing me. And it was like this spin. I'm sorry, the way this angle of this new camera, the way we're working, it's harder for me to. It was a spin. And you were spinning, and then like your hand went like this, and it's centered down your body. And so I think trying to show me spinning about some things, maybe not sure about what to think about things, going in different directions maybe around it. And then there was this just very calm centering, and I don't know why, but the hand seemed important as it was coming down the middle of you. Are you getting anything?
Yeah, I think the hand is about healing, because I just heard healing hands.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is about self-healing, of applying Reiki to the self, and I just heard yes.
There was a lot of grace in what I saw, though, and I feel like that's important in this image. And then I just heard so much more to come.
Ooh. Fantastic.
Yeah, it feels very positive.
Cool, cool.
All right,
That's it.
I'm going to read Jess.
Sure, Jess Mack says, hey ladies, hope you are both doing well. Any messages for me? Okay, Jess.
It's funny, I'm hearing that you're taking strides forward. I kept hearing strides forward, but then I also got this feeling that you don't feel like you've been taking big strides forward. But I think you have. And sometimes we don't recognize it because it comes in the form of maybe growth or understandings or things that just kind of start coming to you. And it's laying the foundation of something, but it's not necessarily showing up in a way that you think you're getting the results. Yeah, foundations are, like the foundation of a house. It's laid brick by brick or cement block by cement block.
Shingle by shingle.
Yeah, and you don't always see how far you've come until you stand back and look at it from a distance. And compare, where you were from like 6 months to a year ago. And I'm hearing 50%. And I think what they're saying is if you're 50% there, you're like, your house is 50% built. And, I think you're going to really recognize how far you've come during this next 50, whatever this is. It just feels, and it feels mission, spirit, like foundational understanding related. Mm-hmm. I do hear that there are some things that you could kick into high gear to make things go a little quicker. And I feel like you've got one foot on the gas pedal trying to go faster and another foot on the brake trying to slow down. Wherever it is that you're feeling that, where you feel that resistance, it's important to heal whatever that fear is. There's a reason why you're resisting. And that fear is going to keep you from really getting there more quickly. It almost feels like the reason why you're not seeing as much progress as you've actually made is because it's taking longer than you want it to take. So stop focusing so much on trying to put the gas pedal down and look more at what you're braking about.
Yeah, and I just survived. Yeah. So when she said what you're breaking about, what I heard was fear, 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 and it was I think part of it's a fear of being seen, and I think that's it. I think they just said that's it.
That's a big one.
I get that. Right.
Kathleen, right?
Yep.
Would love some guidance, please, on my love life.
Okay, Kathleen, right. Here we go.
The first sensation and feeling I'm getting with a little bit of a vision with it, it's like, I feel like I'm like, like, okay, okay. And I don't know if it's like you're meeting people that you think you're interested in and then it doesn't work, or if it's, I'm ready, I'm not. I'm ready, I'm not. But it feels like it's a back and forth and like almost like this stuckness to it.
Well, I'll tell you what I got, and we'll see if we can piece it together. I saw an image of a lock and a key, and then I heard the Madonna song, "Open Your Heart to Me, Baby." And there's something about like a heart and a lock and a key, something about that in that song, and I can't really put that together. But clear. So basically, when I was hearing the song, I thought it was that somebody was not opening their heart to you, but then after hearing Jenn, I'm like,
I think it's more with you.
Yeah.
And there's some, and I was getting ancestral karma or work to do. A lot of times we get from our ancestral line, and whatever it is, like, might even be your dad's side. I'm leaning towards dad's side, but there's some sort of ancestral energy there around broken heart, not opening the heart, being a little closed off in some way. And it's funny because we don't really like to think of ourselves as being closed off, and I know Katie and I are often like, no, we're very open and loving. And then we notice there's this one little place.
There's layers
we
to it.
Close off.
And I did feel like they wanted us to be really clear and explain that. Mm-hmm. So, there was a time in my life when I was told, like, your heart is closed and you need to learn how to open it. And I was like, what?
I know, right?
I don't think so. But then I since, and I did eventually realize, like, And there's a lot of fears that people have around love. Like our tender little fragile pulverized meat hearts really get beat up down here. And yeah, so it does feel like there's something about that with healing work.
Yeah, so there could be, and there probably is, some sort of broken-hearted issue, something, when your heart got broken in the past, and there's pieces of it that aren't healed, and somehow it does connect ancestrally into, I think it's something that your father or up his lineage dealt with. So I don't know if it was some sort of a rejection or just a breakup or something, a betrayal, but there definitely seems like there's a connection there, and healing it on up the line. And you might be wondering, like, how do you heal that? Well, go to a healer, and we do this, but we're not trying to necessarily promote what we do. Go to a healer that you like that can help clear ancestral energies. Not everyone knows how to do it, but there's a lot of them out there. Mm-hmm. Carrie!
Hey, Carrie. She says, hi, ladies. You are coming in loud and clear. Awesome. Any messages from my guides today? Okay.
So this was, but I saw you as an image, and you were like eyes closed and your head was slightly down, and all of a sudden your head goes up really fast, and then you start toning, and I was like, ah, like really loud, and like all of a sudden there you were. And I think what they're meaning with this is, yes, it's about your toning. And in case anyone here knows Carrie, she's got an amazing voice. Sounds much better than I just did. And Katie.
Yep, for sure.
It looks like we lost some people in our camera.
They're like, no.
Which is why I don't do that.
Which is why Carrie should be toning and not us.
So Carrie, but I think what they're showing with this is that you're going to be really doing it, and it's prepared for it. And don't be afraid of it. Just dive in and really do it. And make a commitment to yourself to make this happen. Just dive in. The best way to face the fear a lot of times is just be like, well, all right,
we're gonna do it.
All right.
All right. Neat says, hello, gorgeous ladies. Gorgeous lady. Are there any messages for me? Let's find out.
So the first thing I saw was almost like this wad of cash. Yeah, that's always nice. But it was almost like, you're flipping it. And you can see my hands flipping it. Like it's like, like you're going through cards or something. And then all of a sudden the money flew out everywhere and it was gone. So I don't know if you've had to spend a lot of money recently, but I feel like it has something to do with that. Or money maybe you thought you had extra, it got spent somehow. I do think that there's some healing that can be done around that. I'm not feeling necessarily ancestral, but it does feel kind of karmic. I do think that there's some things to work through with that. I think one of the best things you can do is, as you're thinking about money, or as you realize like certain beliefs or patterns kind of come to mind, keep a list and write them down.
I was just getting that.
And then get some healing around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. All right, Joanne. Anything my peeps would like to share with my two wise ladies tonight? Aw, aren't you sweet? Okay. So I just heard progress with an exclamation point. As in you made progress.
And I heard mission.
All right, cool. I just heard watch yourself, don't backslide. There's a temptation there to backslide into like confusion and inaction, and they don't want you to do that. They want you to press ahead. And if you find yourself backsliding, stop yourself and look at it. Like journal or figure out why you don't want to press ahead. Because it's really easy to just be like, shiny things, and wander off into the woods. And they're like, please don't do that now. Like, definitely, like, hold your feet to the fire is what I heard. And in terms of using that saying, hold your feet to the fire, because it's like doing that healing work can be a bit tough. It can burn, but what they're just saying is you want to just kind of like press through the discomfort to get out on the other side, because that's where everything's going to be better. Because it does feel like you're putting off some realizations or some healing work, because it's like you're afraid it's going to be painful. And it doesn't always have to be painful. It feels like this probably will, though. And sometimes, we got to rip off the Band-Aid. But it just feels like it's that quick pain, like rip off the Band-Aid and press forward, because it feels like it's going to get better fast.
It's funny. I think a lot of times we resist feeling any emotion because of the pain that we feel. And so it just lingers. And we kind of ride more of the surface of it. And it's still terrible. But if we can dive into it and kind of like hide.
Or trying to, sometimes we fool ourselves or just like try not to go there. We're like, everything's fine, it's fine. And then it doesn't feel like it's terrible. It feels like, oh, this is okay. I could survive like this forever. And it's like, no, you're like holding yourself at a place that's not that great. Like your life could be much better. I think that's it.
I'm not getting anything else.
All right.
Thank you, Kathleen Wright, for sharing. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much.
Jacob Palmer. Son.
Yes, Jacob is Jen's son, and he says, yay, hey, lately. I don't know.
Let's see.
Okay. So they just showed an image of you like swimming in space, and then these like
That matches what I was just getting. Go ahead.
so these like I think they look kind of like stars would like shoot past you, and it would be like pew pew pew, and then you were like, what was that? And then a few more would go flying by. But then I basically was just getting, I think it was just galactic energies.
Well, they want you to really connect. So in case you're interested, guys, Jacob is doing a galactivation, a galactic activation. We call it the galactivation on Sunday here in Maryland in person. And there's still some energies that need to come in, and they're wanting you to connect with each of the different energies and really make sure you have everything you need. So make sure you do that.
Well, I'm glad you could decipher that.
Yeah. That's all I'm getting. I'm not getting anything else, bud.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. Cynthia Liang. Good evening. Any messages for me? Oh, you're not reversed on camera tonight.
Yeah, actually, we are.
For us.
For us. So I don't know what that looks like for you guys.
So we're doing a different kind of stream where it's streaming to our different Facebook pages. So it's not just on Divinely Guided tonight. And we're even trying to, I'm sure nobody's watching it on YouTube right now because we just started the YouTube. It's just a different technology. But yeah, what do we got?
Cynthia, any messages for me? So what I just saw, Cynthia, was you, and there was like this, all these beautiful colors and like mandalas and swirling energy, and you were like, wow. And the sense I was getting is that things are really opening up for you. If you don't feel like they are already, but it feels like it's coming. I just hear you keep practicing. And you can ask your guides too for attunements and to have your channel cleared so that you can get messages. So definitely do that.
Well, and I literally heard, "Don't be fooled," and I feel like if what you're saying, I think you're getting a lot more advisor. It's really important to just trust that it's coming through, and it almost feels like like all the sunlight's hitting your window, but you have this shade over it, and it's kind of coming out the sides a little bit. And all you gotta do is pull up the shade, and there it all is. It just kind of feels like that's what's happening. It feels very positive. I feel like it feels like I think probably in the beginning of this next year, we'll be entering another phase. And it feels very, very positive and expansive. I don't know how else to word that. Am I getting anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. Who's next?
Carol Cook says, hi, hope you both are well. Any messages regarding love with a friend or go for new love? I don't know. Let's find out. Go ahead. Well, we'll see if we got the same thing or not. The pressure's on. I'm feeling like they're saying try out the love with the friend. What were you getting?
Well, I immediately got an image of the heart center with thorns in it. So I do feel like there's some thorny issues that have to be healed before you dive into the relationship necessarily. What I'm getting is actually the friend can help heal some of that. But some of it you really have to work on yourself. It's almost like the friendship and the energy of that friend, it helps to dissolve some of those thorns, but other thorns, it all.
I just heard you got this though, and it's gonna be fun. I do feel like the thorns are what is making you feel like avoiding the friend. I think that's part of it too, because it's like, we get sometimes this sort of Disney fantasy of the new love, and the friend, it's like we know some of their stuff, and then it's like, but everybody has their stuff that we could be about. So it's, healing and opening the heart fully, and then you could pretty much, I know this sounds weird, you could pretty much have an amazing relationship with anybody if your heart is really well healed. And a lot of times we avoid the healing work and we think, well, if I just had the right partner, and that's really not how love works in the spiritual sense. It's healing the self so that everybody is lovely and perfect to you through your rose-colored glasses, through with a healed heart.
Mm-hmm.
And you can put up with anything and work through it and heal it together when you've got that foundation of a secure, whole, healed heart. I just started to have fun and don't worry. So cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, we're really more here for the process of whatever it is we're going through than we are for the end result. The end result is just like a nice reward for what we're going through, you know, but we're really here for that process and to grow and learn and heal.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's good.
Awesome.
Whitney.
Go ahead.
All right. Hello, sweet souls. Hey, Whit.
Hi.
I would love to inquire about coming through so strongly, going into the weeds and stories. Could you tap into the galactic guides and teams helping me and streams coming in that I should focus on at this time? I appreciate your service.
Okay.
We appreciate yours.
Indeed.
So the first thing I'm getting is like, yeah, the galactic energies that are coming through, there's activations happening within you because the time that we're in is an awakening period. And you know, things will never be the way they were a year ago. You just won't.
Yeah.
They won't.
That's the old world.
But it will get better and much, much better. And the energies that you're bringing in are codes for this time that's coming. And we're kind of in a transition. And you know, a lot of people are nervous. A lot of people are, you know, having a difficult time with this. But we all knew that it was going to be difficult. And the energies that you're bringing through they're like warrioress type energies, but not in a battle sense, but in a strength kind of sense. It feels very strong and kind of lioness to me. It feels very strong, kind of fierce. Fierce is the word I'm hearing. But in a really good, loving kind of way, like a fierce love and connection and unity. It feels really beautiful. But that's what you're really bringing through with this energy, and it's activating things within you for your own healing so that you can magnify those energies out to others. And just so you guys know, I think a lot of this is happening for many of us, maybe all of us. So you might be feeling that you're going through some weird things in your life and, you know, above and beyond the collective as we're all going through all of this right now. We're being prepared. You know, our energies, our fields, our bodies, we're shifting. And this is an important time. And again, this is for, I think, all of us. What's coming through is we need to make sure we're coming back into unity. Many of us, if not all of us on this feed right now, are starseeds. If you're watching this probably has something to do with you. We are literally here to bring these energies in, and we all have our own purpose with these energies that we're bringing in. And an overarching mission for all of us is to bring love and unity and connection so that we can all ascend. So
got it.
I think that's the important thing that has to come through for all of us.
And then I do have one thing I feel like they don't want you to go just yet. They have one more thing to say, and that's it's this weird little subtlety about being in the weeds and stories and not being in them versus spiritually bypassing. So sometimes what we can do when it's like we're really supposed to process, like sort of like the weeds and stories. I know that sounds counter to what we usually say. Sometimes we have to process the story in order to come to higher truths and understandings. We can't just ignore every storyline and every weed that we wade into. Sometimes there's something there to be found, but it's the difference between like dipping in, pulling out what the thing is that you're supposed to heal or understand or get from it. It's like get in, get out.
Versus swimming in it.
or versus bypassing it entirely. So it's like there's like a little, they want you to get this, there's like little subtle thing that it's like it's not all or nothing. There is some, there's richness in the experience sometimes that we need to get something out of it. So they just want you to be mindful of that that's like not quite it, but it's like, so don't you're supposed to get from it, to get the wisdom, to get the higher perspective, to become more of service. You know, like anytime we go through anything, like one of the first things we check is like, is our integrity? Did we do the right thing? Are we serving correctly? Do we have the right level of you know, service in mind? And we're not being martyrs, but we're not overgiving or undergiving. You know, all those things. It's like there's like almost like a check wind up in a sort of a situation. And so like, you know, there's a difference between when somebody is just like no, I'm not even gonna look at it at all. I'm fine. I didn't do anything. I'm not triggered. You're triggered. That's like the, you know, like the spiritual bypassing thing. And it might not even be that you're triggered, but if somebody else is triggered, it's like, oh wait, did I do that? You know, we always check. So it's just like a little reminder to like to do the work without getting into the weeds of the stories. I know. So it's just a weird subtle thing they wanted to bring up.
Yeah,
Makes sense?
makes total sense to
Okay.
me. Anyway.
Cool.
All right, Chrissy Marie, I would appreciate any guidance tonight, please, and thank you.
Okay, Christy Marie.
Chrissy.
Chrissy Marie.
Chrissy Marie.
Okay.
I think this is a guide, but it might be a loved one. We try to work more with guides and loved ones just because guides have higher wisdom to bring through usually, but I feel like they're like grabbing your cheeks and they're like, you're so beautiful. I think this is a loved one, but I'm hearing don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And they're literally saying it like this. You've got to be seen, darling. So whatever it is you're worried about with your, I think appearance is the wrong word. Maybe it's like how you're just afraid what people might think or something like that. Don't be. It's a prison.
Yeah. So I just had this one guide who come in who he really doesn't care what he looks like. A cowboy hat, and he was like in a saloon, and he like sort of, you know, moseyed up to the table, and he sat down and like, you know, tipped his hat, and he was like, hello, little lady. And then he had like shots in front of him, and he was just like this really casual way of being. And I was like, just ignore me. And saying that, and I was like, oh, okay. So this guy, he lived big. He was a big personality. He didn't give a crap what anyone thought, and he just like lived his life to the full. And he ate what he wanted to eat. He drank what he wanted to drink. Like he was just like not a health nut, not a perfectionist. Let's put it that way. But he did his mission. He did what he came here to be. To do, and he was seen. He was seen by a lot of people. So I think he's just saying like, kind of like relax, you know, just relax and do it and get out there and have a presence.
So, and we aren't of the mob, or we're afraid of what other people think. We're afraid we're going to be mobbed. You know,
yeah, there's a lot of
stoned to death or something. Right? I don't know. Yeah, but you know, it's what you're here for is really important, and it is what you came here for. And it's time for us all to really just stand up and be who we are, and to dive into our work here and to move forward with it. And you know, to the best of our integrity and wisdom and heart and soul, just to do the best we can. And know we're going to make mistakes, and then forgive ourselves for the mistakes and forgive others for their mistakes and move forward with our mission, and to just create that real deep love for everybody, you know?
Indeed.
Yeah, the rest of it's just small stuff.
Yep. I think that's it. So
Right.
Kathleen Wright, you've asked a few times. I just want you to know we did answer your question, so you might have to rewind the video to find the answer.
Okay. And then Malika Ann Fernandez de Souza.
Right on. Okay.
Are there any messages for me today? Fingers crossed my messages don't disappear today.
It seems like we've got it handled with this new chat
Yes.
function. I think our comments are not.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, right? Okay. All right, so that same guide that was in the cowboy hat now is on a bucking bronco. He's waving his hat and he just went, yeah! And what it was representing is like the world today is like a bucking bronco. And the people who are going to like stay on and have a good time, it's like they're kind of loose with it, like they flow, you know, their bodies are like moves around and they just, like the best way to get thrown off of a bronco is to be like, oh my god, and like stiffen up and like
resist,
and panic. You're gonna get tossed. So yeah. An old self-help saying is what you resist persists.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what that means from a manifestation standpoint, if we cling in any one direction and get rigid in any one direction, we tend to keep bringing the thing towards us that we don't want. So a lot of times we just have to drop our expectations and even our egoic desires and just flow with what is at some point. We just have to like let go and be like, all right, it's just take it as it comes, you know, just live life on that buck and bronco. Like it's got to be like that for a long time. And if we can, you know, just strap the one hand on, let the one hand go and just like chill out, we're going to do a lot better. But if you keep begging to be let off this bucking bronco, it's not going to happen. That's the world right now. It's planet Earth.
Have some fun.
Yeah, yeehaw. That's your advice. What were you getting?
I wasn't getting anything. I was enjoying what you were saying.
Okay.
Let me just see if there's anything else. I know, right?
I got something to say. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing.
Let me off this thing.
Let me off this thing. Okay.
Yeah, so, and then I see a monk. But the hands are in prayer position and there's like deep, deep focus within. I think what they're saying is, you know, there's a lot of answers within all of us. I think this is for all of us. There's a lot of answers within all of us. And it's not an ego. And most of us live in ego. And most of our thoughts come from ego because we're not connected deep within. And I think, Malika, this is more than just for you, although I think there's some aspects of this. I do feel like you do this sometimes. But I think there's some aspects where maybe you're not loosening up enough. Maybe you're a little too resistant to what certain things that might be going on in your life or collectively. But it just feels like deep breaths, turn focus within and relax, loosen up, and come back to joy and laughter. And, you know, what are we all here for? You know, what's the bigger picture? A lot of these things that we're all going through personally or collectively, we're going to get through them. We're going to get to the other side.
Sweet.
All right. Sandy Schrader
says, hello, beautiful ladies. Hello, beautiful lady. Any messages from my guides as the next steps in my journey? What is my mission here?
I like that question.
Yeah, me too. Really good question.
I think there are things that you're not standing in your power enough about. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of what that is. If it's I know there's fears behind it, and I can't quite pinpoint what the fears are. It feels heart related though. Whatever it is, it feels like there's heart chakra connection to it all. And it's almost like it's hard to know when to step forward or to hold back sometimes. And sometimes I think you hold back when you need to step forward. And someone, and this feels like a loved one, is coming in and saying, you know, you've got a lot of years left. It's over. Like you got a lot coming. It's really good.
Yeah. So, and what I was hearing too was so next steps, self-healing work, and also a concentration on energy healing. And I don't know, is she trained in Reiki?
I don't think so, but I don't know. But
I'm feeling like that could be really helpful for you.
Mhm.
Like also, like getting trained in Reiki really helps the healing journey. It often shifts a lot of energy and it opens us up and can help us kind of let wounds and negative energy out of the body. So I do feel like that would be a really great, you know, of the next steps in terms of your healing journey. I do feel like self-healing is really important for you right now, and potentially taking like a Reiki 1 class, or if you've already done that, you know, the next, whatever the next Reiki class level would be helpful, because the attunements help you up the line.
And I feel like heart healing is really important, although I feel like this is really old stuff. It feels past lifetime. I think there's been some hints of heartache or things in this lifetime, but it really feels really old. I'm actually seeing like you might have even been Japanese or something. It feels like I'm being drawn to Japan. And I don't just because this is what it is. If there is some sort of a past life where you were Japanese or dealt with Japanese, taking the Reiki class often will activate something within you around that whole experience. I know I experienced something like that as well, where there was some healing that had to happen. And there's just something about the energy where it helps bring it forth.
Yeah, and it can open up your intuition, which is can be a great thing. That really helped my intuition.
Yeah, me too. I don't think I'm getting anything else.
I think that's it.
All right. So there's somebody on here who said, I would love guidance on how to best help my mother not feel so lonely, but I think you're coming to us from one of the groups, and when you're coming from one of the groups,
we don't know who you are.
Yeah, it just says Facebook user, so we can't really tune in. What I would say is next time if you get on, so we can actually tune in better. I don't know, do you want to try to tune in?
Yeah, let's try to tune
All right,
in.
we'll try, but we don't have your name, so we don't know if we can really
so
pinpoint.
This is for whoever asked the question. I would love guidance on how best to help my mother not feel so lonely. So if that's your question, this one's for you. Also, just be mindful, it's 7:59.
Oh, geez. Okay, you're our last one.
Time flies.
So I was saying I love dialysis. And if you didn't hear it earlier, we do talk about how to do that
on this video.
Early on.
Yeah.
Right? Was that the first one?
It might have been one of the first questions. So definitely hit the replay and find out how to do that love dialysis.
Yeah.
And anyone on here can learn to use that. It's very helpful.
It definitely, it feels more energetic. It feels, obviously in person, there's a lot you could do if you were able to go see her. I get the feeling that maybe COVID is keeping you from her. But since you can't be in the physical, definitely energetic feels very important. You can see her in front of you and just send love, You can imagine them in this beautiful white light, feeling loved. There's a lot you can do with just your visualization.
And I'm going to offer up something I'm seeing. I don't know if this is going to make any sense or if it's even plausible, but what I was seeing was your mom had some sort of like like art pages. It almost looked like color by number, but it could have also been like learning to watercolor or like some sort of like a paint kit or arts and crafts, something like that. And it was like, so I don't know if she would be, I don't know her situation, if she's capable of doing something like that, but it felt like there could be some sort of way you guys could connect using art. And it was a feeling like you don't have to be good at it. It was like whatever it was almost like I said, like a color by number or something. It's something that you could both do really easily where you each are, and then perhaps like trade pictures of how it turned out or something. Like you both doing some sort of a craft on your own time or even on video if that's possible. I don't know what the capabilities are, but it was some sort of way you could connect via doing your own creative work. So again, I don't know if that makes sense for your situation, but it was just what I was seeing in my mind's eye was she had some sort of a very easy art or craft project that she could do. And then the idea of you both sort of sharing that experience. I don't know.
I am getting a download that I think the very high guides would like to bring through about our current time. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it through.
Do it.
And then if you have anything, please add to it.
Okay.
What they were saying is, well, first they were like, dear ones. It's really important during these times to get into a much higher space. A lot of us do get in the weeds with all of this. And we get deep down into our egoic postures. And ultimately, with everything that we're going through, visualization is so important. And there are a lot of things that we bring to the table, even if we've never been an energy healer or into any of this manifestation stuff. There's a lot. You are always is peace. We want love. We want unity. We want better times. We want to feel more secure. And whatever the answer is, it's not about determining the how we get there. It's determining what we want. And where we are is not really what we're aiming for at the moment. But it is a part of the process. We have to go through this to get rid of our division, actually, believe it or not. I know previously, and they're showing me this again, it seems like we're pulling further and further and further apart. But what they show us is that it actually, as we're pulling apart, it snaps back, and then we're really close to each other and looking at each other in the face again, and loving each other. I know it seems a little Pollyanna or just whatever.
That's so nice.
Rose-colored glasses, but it is what we're aiming for, and it is what we're here to bring forth. And it seems impossible right now, but it's really not. And we are so close. And it's important to keep that in mind when you're seeing people who don't agree with you, or you're getting into the weeds with things, or you're afraid of how things are going to turn out, or what might happen next. Are we going to be shut down again? Who knows? There's so many different things that we can be in fear about, and that is keeping us from that higher vision of love and unity. And it's really important for us to bring that through.
I think you got it. And I think
All
that's
right.
it.
Let's love each other.
Yeah. All right. On that note, we love you.
Yes. 2 things.
Okay.
We have, if we can make it, I don't know, with COVID, we'll see where things go. But in March, we're doing a Florida retreat.
Oh, we'll make it. That's just what I heard. That's happening.
We'll make it.
We are going to Florida in March, and you're going to be there too.
We did a retreat in Virginia, literally right before everything shut down.
Right as it was shutting down. We did one in Arizona in September. It's happening. That's all I'm saying. We're doing it.
So yeah, check out divinelyguided.tv. Also, we have a soul growth group, and it's a fabulous group of people, and we do different things. And on the first Friday of every month, we do a Zoom call. So no matter where you are, you can join us. And we do activations and healings and meditations and things to help activate your intuition and to bring forth your own soul wisdom and things like that. And then the third Friday of every month, we meet in person to practice intuitive skills.
That's right. But you can join the group whether you're local or not. And we have some free meditations for members, and also how to create sacred space just went in there, and more classes coming. So hit up divinelyguided.tv and check out the soul growth group, check out the retreat, and
Spread the word.
spread the word. And we will see you next Thursday.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for
Bye,
joining
guys.
us. Bye.